All right. A Baal Shem Tov story. Once there was in the time of the Baal Shem Tov announced to the congregation of Jews that were there, I guess in the whole area, and there were a lot of Jews, that there is decreed on us a terrible plague, disease on all the children, and that we have to pray. We have to get together in the synagogue, and already children were starting to become sick and everything. And he said it's a decree from heaven, and we have to go to synagogue and we have to pray. So the synagogue of the Baal Shem Tov was packed with people, and everyone was going. What were they praying? They were reading Psalms, the book of Psalms, 150 Psalms they were reading. And the Baal Shem Tov was leading the congregation. So they finished, they read the 150 Psalms. How long does it take to read 150 Psalms? Let's say if you read it, really at a good, quick pace, it takes an hour and a half. 2 hours. Me, it takes 2 hours, a little more. So they read the Psalms. They were reading also a little bit slow because this was their children. And the Baal Shem Tov, they finished one time, and the Baal Shem Tov turned around and he said, not enough. We have to read again. Everyone was fasting. Not enough. We have to read again. So everybody started reading again. The second time, not enough. Everyone started crying, wailing. We have to read again. They read the second time, third time, we have to read again. Meanwhile, there was an old simple lady, and that she was walking this. She didn't know anything about this decrees about the children or anything. She didn't even understand what was happening. She's just walking home, and she heard all the wailing and yelling coming from the synagogue. So she went into the synagogue, and she prayed with them also. And the Baal Shem Tov, after they finished reading 10 times, the Baal Shem Tov said, we have to read again. Everyone started screaming, yelling. In the middle of the 11th time, the Baal Shem Tov turned around and said, the decree has been annulled. People had been fasting for a day, whatever, 2 days. It's been, everyone's happy, you can go home and eat. And so they all went home. Everybody was happy. They all went home. And meanwhile, the pupils of the Baal Shem Tov went to the Baal Shem Tov and they asked, was there some sort of a Kabbalistic reason you read the Psalms, a certain number of times, or maybe in the middle of one Psalm, or maybe there was some certain thing you had to think about? What was the secret? So the Baal Shem Tov, if you want the secret, so go and ask Baba Sarah, this old lady that she came. So they went to her house, and she was sitting there. It was already nighttime, middle of the night, and she was sipping a cup of tea or something. And they said to her, she opened the door, that, yes, these honorable people, the rabbis. Yes, can I help you? You want some directions or something? I said, no, we want to ask you a question. Me? You want to ask me a question? Can we come in? Of course, but it's not a nice place. My house is not, and I don't even have enough chairs to just, don't worry about it. We'll stand up. We just want to ask you something. Yes. Please, me, you want to ask? Tell me, what did you do tonight in the synagogue? What do you mean, what did I do? I was there with everybody else. I was there. Said, but you must have done something special. What did you do? Something special. What did you do in the synagogue? The Od Eser Dako, 10 minutes, I'll call you back. What did you do? So she said, listen, I don't know. I'm a simple lady. I don't. Tell us what you did. So she said, okay. I was walking down the street. I heard everybody yelling and crying and weeping. I went into the synagogue and I went up to the ladies section and I asked, what's going on? So they said, there's a terrible decree on all the children. And the children are going to die. And we're reading Psalms. She said, yeah. I said, reading Psalms? I said, what? That's terrible. Okay. How many times have you read? They said, we've already read 9 times, 10 times. We read the Psalms 10 times. We've been reading now since the afternoon. It's already middle of the night. And the Baal Shem Tov says it's not working. He said, well, you're all praying to God and reading the Psalms that God should take away the plague from the children. And God's not listening. He says, yes, please, here, take a prayer book and a Psalm book. And so I sat and I read a few Psalms. And I said to myself, this doesn't make any sense. So I went over to the corner and I said, listen, God, um, I don't understand. Your children are all they're dying. I said, I know that there's the cruelest person in the world that I know is a Cossack. The Cossacks are tremendously cruel, disgusting murderers. I've seen things that they've done, but I know that a Cossack, if his son or his child falls down or is hurt, he'll jump off of his horse and he'll lift him up. And here, all the Jewish people, the Cossack hears his son cry. So, and now here, all of your people are crying out to save their sons, and you're not coming down and help them? Are you more cruel than a Cossack? And all of a sudden, I heard everyone was cheering and yelling, and they said that the decree has been lifted. So, in other words, this woman's simple, heartfelt, genuine argument with God worked. And the same thing should be with us, that we should say genuinely from the essence of our heart, come on, God, I mean, are you worse than a Cossack? Than even a Nazi? He sees his own child. So come on, God, let's take away the pain. We've had enough pain, the Jewish people, enough confusion, enough crying out. Ad Masai, help us, send the Mashiach now.